Hello everyone, my name is Philip Edu. I just want to give you an overview about the new functions in NVivo that may be helpful for you. If you have any questions, please feel free to put in the comment section. I'll be very happy to address them for you. And also subscribe to my channel. And if you want me to do any video related to NVivo, let me know. Let me give you a little background about the data that we're going to use. It's about participants' perception about responsible innovation. So this is the purpose of the study. And these are the research questions that I want to address in the study. And these are the list of participants, their demographics. There are 10 participants, and these are their roles, profession, and also age, gender, and also geographical location. So in this research, I want to find out how they conceptualize and apply principles of responsible innovation. I want to look into the barriers to fostering responsible innovation. Lastly, I want to explore the opportunities for enhancing responsible innovation. So this is the study and the data that we're going to use. So let me go to NVivo and show you data that I'm going to use for demonstration. And when you go to files, you see all participant 1 to 10. You see 10 participants here. The data has already been coded. So when you go to codes, you can see that I have containers for my research question, all the 3 research questions that I have. And also I have themes for some of the research questions. So these are the themes. I haven't done themes for the research question 3 yet. I haven't finished doing that, but we're going to use the themes for research question 1 for this demonstration. If you want an update of your NVivo, you go to files. So I'm using Windows, right? And I'm going to also do a video about NVivo Mac, some of the updates that is very interesting and that I want to share with you. For NVivo Mac, you now create framework metrics. I'll be showing a video concerning that. So if you want to check for update, you click on File, and then you can go to Product Information, and you see here, you click on Check for Software Update. When you click on that, now it's showing that there's no update, it's up to date. I have currently NVivo 15.3. This is what I have. So the first one that I want to show you is about framework metrics. Before you create framework metrics, you have to always make sure that you have created cases for each of the files that you have. So how do you create cases? You go to files, you select all of them, right? You can select them one by one, but I like selecting all of them. Right click on it. And I go to create as cases and you click on that. And when you finish, you have all the cases here. Without having the cases, you will not be able to create framework metrics. So it's very important to create cases first before you run the framework metrics. So let's go to create framework metrics, themes for research, focus on teams for research question 1. And then I go to rows, I click on select, and then I can select all the cases. Click on OK, and I go to column, and I select, I want to focus on only research question 1, the themes. So I select only the themes for research question 1. So I click on OK. And then I click on OK. So what will happen in the system will create a table, and it will have all in the column. You have all the themes. As you can see here, the themes for the column. If you want to see all of them, I think you have to move this one to see. If you want to see it well, one option is to right click here and go to undock. So the system will pull the table, the spreadsheets from NVivo so that you can see that information clearly. So now I have participant P1 and also the quotations extracted, right? Sometimes if you want to make sure that the system has extracted all the quotations, you can click on retrieve excerpts. So if we click on retrieve excerpts, it will retrieve all the information that have been extracted that are connected to the theme and also connected to the participants, right? So now you have all the excerpts here. You can export it if you want to export. Now, if you want to see where this quotation, right, is, right, when you want to see, so when you click on it, you see that now on the right side, you see participant P1 transcript. Let's say I want to find out where this quotation is. We go to view, and you click on column coding. So now it will show where exactly you coded, right? The participant P1 files where exactly you coded. Another new function that they have added is summarizing, allowing AI to go through all the quotation and summarize the information and put it in the cell for you. So you see this quotation here? You can ask the system to automatically summarize that information for you, right, using AI. So what you can do is that you put the cursor here and go to, if you want the system to summarize all the quotation in this cell, you put the cursor there and go to AI Assistant, and then you can click on AI Assistant Summarize Coded Content. When you click on that, you have to click on the blue link to read the terms of use, AI terms of use. If you are satisfied with that, you click on check this place, confirming that you accept the terms, and then you click on OK. So here you can indicate whether you want a short summary, or you want a standard one, or you want a long summary, right? So if you want a short summary, you can click on that. Maybe I want a standard one. So I click on that, and then I click on generate. The system will generate that. So after generating, you can click on add summary so that it will come to the Excel here, to come up here. If you don't click on add summary, it will not come. So you click on that and click on OK. So when you do that, let me show you where the summary is. Summary is now under here. You see the AI summary. So the system has read through the excerpts here and summarize that information here down here for you. You could also make this place empty, and then you can have only the summary in the cells. So you don't have to have the quotations there. You can only have the summary, especially when you run the analysis and this, as every place is empty, you just can click on it and write the summary. If you want to do it for all of them, you can click here. You can right click here. Right click at this corner here and go to AI's Assistant Summarize Coded Segment, and all of the places have been indicated here where you want the system to summarize. Then you can click on generate. So it will generate for the first one, and then after generating, you have to click on add, and you go to the next one, it will generate, and then after generating, you click on add summary, and you go to here, you click on add summary again, and then when you do that, it goes to the next one and summarize. So you continue to click on it until it finishes summarizing everything, right? So after that, clicking on summary, finish, you can click on OK. When you click on OK, all the summary will come. So you can see that, let's choose this cell. You see here that the summary is now here, right? And then when you click on also this cell, is participant 6. And you can also see where the quotations are. So you can see all the quotations here, and also you can review the summary. You can also edit the summary if you want to. There's always the chance for you to edit. You can edit here, type things there. You can remove any information that you don't want. So this is a new function that can be helpful for you, especially if you want to start writing about each of the themes, and then you want to look at this. You don't want to read all the quotation, but you just want to look at a summary to help you to write your findings. This one is very good for you. And then you can export it if you want to. You can right click on it and export that. You have a lot of choice here. You can retrieve only the quotations, or you can just allow the system to summarize the quotations for you. So you can retrieve only the summaries. And a third option, you can retrieve both, right? So you have a lot of choice here. You just have to choose the one that you feel that is going to be very helpful for you. So if you want me to go into more detail, let me know. I'll be happy to go through. But this is just an overview about the new function, and you just think about what you can use this one for. This one may be helpful if you want to explore the relationship between themes, right? So you can export this information and then send it to ChatGPT, and then you ask ChatGPT to explore the relationship between the theme based on the summary and also the quotations that you have in the cells. And the system will be able to do that for you. So this is what I have for you for the concerning the framework metrics. Let me know your thoughts. Do you think it's going to be useful for you, or do you think that it's not going to help you? So let me know your thoughts. So let's go to the next function, which is the cross-tabulation, right? So let's explore the cross-tabulation and see what it can do for you and explore. So let me close this framework metrics. And if you want to see the framework metrics again, go under notes and type and click on framework metrics, and you double click on what you have created based on the name that you gave to it. This is the one that we just created. You can double click on it and then explore further. Right, so that's what I have for you. Let's try another framework metrics just to help you to see the options that you have. Let's think about that. Let's try it. So this time let me show you what I'm going to focus. I'm going to focus on maybe research question. Let's focus on research question 2, right? The themes, the codes that I've created for research question 2. So I'll go to create framework metrics, and then I'll kill 2 themes, right? And then I click on row and I select all the participants. This part I don't normally use it, but you can also use if you want to group participants based on their attribute. So you can try that. So let's try this and see what we're going to get. So this time, what you're gonna do is I click on select, you go to the plus sign, and let's see, we just want to focus on the row, right? And we want to group the information, the table based on their rows. So we click on OK and go to columns. And then now we are focusing on only research question 2. We click on the plus sign, select the themes or the codes for research question 2, and click on OK. And click on OK here. And then within few seconds, the table will be created. So you see that the table has been created here. Let me right click here and go to undock so that I can pull the table so that we see everything clearly. So this is the framework metrics, and you can see here that we have already have some information there in here, right? If you want to make sure that all the excerpts have been extracted, you just click on retrieve excerpt, right? If you don't want to do that and you just want to have summaries in the cells, we can just click on, let me go here. So I click here and then select all of them and go to AI Assistant, Summarize Coded Content. And then, you choose whether you want a standard summary or longer one, or you want a short one. I always choose the standard one. I click on generate, and then I think the first one has been generated here. You see here, generated. Click on Add Summary. You continue to click on Add Summary so that all of the cells will be generated. I think we have more to go. Let me click on that. So I think everything is complete. So you go to OK. And then let's see. You see how the system has provided a summary here. See the summaries for each of the participants. See here the summary. So the summary is, you see the AI here. As I said, you can always edit. And if you want to see where the quotation is, you just always go to view and then click on column coding, and then that information will be here. You can see the place that has been coded. So this is how you can use the framework metric. As I said, you can export it and then use it for your writing, or you can export it and then learn further. You can also transpose that. So if you want a column to be rows and a row to be column, you can click on transpose and then to be able to do that. You see now P1, and then also the rows are there. So the P1 is in innovator, P3 is also an innovator, P7 is regulator. So you see that the row that we selected, right? It has indicated there are rows there for you. So this is how the framework metrics will look like if you run that. So let's go to the next one, which is the cross-tabulation, right? And also explore what you can use it for. Some of the function may not be useful for you. You don't have to explore, you don't have to use that if it's not going to be useful, but I'm just giving you an overview. And if you want more information, I'll be able to, do more presentation on that. So let's go to the cross-tabulation. So if you want to go to cross-tabulation, you go to explore and go to under query, you click on cross-tabulation, and then you'll be able to, you click on the plus sign. This one, you select codes. You see the codes here? So I'm going to focus on research question one, the themes of research question one, and I click on OK. You see here attribute, right? So here you can either use participant attributes or you can also use the cases. This time, let's use the case and see what we're going to get, and then we get back to attributes, right? So I click on the cases and then it's asking you here, which case do you want to select? I click on the plus sign and I select all the cases, right? Here to always have to create cases before you run this analysis if you want to explore cases, right? It's very important. If you don't do that, you'll not be able to use the cross-tabulation. So you select all of the cases and then click on OK, and then you can run query. So you can see here that it has given you all participant P1 to P10. This one shows the theme, the first theme, and then also the total accepts. So we have 5 accepts here, right? We have 2 accepts connected to participant 5 and 2 accepts connected to participant 8 and 1. So if you want to know the accepts, the 2 accepts, you can double click on it and then it will take you to the list of accepts. You see the 2 accepts here, right? So let's go back and click by clicking on this tab. So when you go to the last few columns, you can see that we have mean. So the mean is just the average. Right? So the average is the number of quotation divided the number of themes, right? So you see that we have one here, another one here, quotations. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yes, a total of 6 quotation divided by 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 teams. And that's why we have 1, right? 6 divided by 6 is 1, right? So you can see that all these are all the themes, the mean here. And then we have also standard deviation right here. And also standard error. If you are not familiar with statistics, don't worry about it right now. But if you want to explore more and you don't understand how to interpret, this is where ChatGPT is there for you, right? ChatGPT can help you to understand. What you can do is to download this Excel spreadsheet and then give the system information. A little bit of background can tell ChatGPT. You can tell it's the purpose of your study and your research question and the theme that you have, and then tell the system that you downloaded this information from NVivo 15 and access to give you explanation of the table, and the system will be able to do that. So the standard deviation, I think you can look at it like the average of the distance between each of the scores from the mean, right? So you can see here that the mean here is 0.33, right? And then the standard deviation, let me see, the standard deviation for the participant one is, let me see, 0.84, right? So it shows that this average distance between the individual number of quotations from the average number of quotations, right? So if it doesn't make sense, qualitative is more about words than numbers. So if it doesn't make sense, don't worry about it. You don't have to present this information. But if you want to know more, as I said, you can use ChatGPT to help you to better understand, right? So this, let me see, and you can also go to cross-tab and transpose it. Transpose, let me see. So the column will be the rows and the rows will be the column. So you see here, all the themes are here. And then the columns will be the participants and also each of the total, we have the total number of quotations there and then the mean and other things, the standard deviation. So we have all these. You can also click on this part and see the chart. You can move it here, but if you export it, you cannot move it anymore. So if this one makes sense to you when you want to present your findings, you can do that. There's an option for you to choose different chart. If you want to, we can choose the simpler one if it makes sense to you. We have PCA, which is a principal component analysis biplot. This one is a little bit complex. Sometimes I find it difficult to explain. What you could do is to send it to ChatGPT. It can explain it for you. We can try that and see. This one is also the box plot. The box plot will help you the average and help you to identify the extreme values, right? I find it difficult to explain this one, but you can also use ChatGPT to help you, and we can explore that too, right, later. So back to the cross-tabulation. Let's say you want to focus on attributes, right? Attributes, think about attributes are variables. So let's say we want to focus on the roles and see which themes they are more connected to. How do you do that? So you can, let's try to close this again. I will go to Explore, Query, and cross-tabulation. And then what I would do is that for quotes, I click on the plus sign and go to the research question one, select all of them, right? I click on OK. And then you see here, attribute is already there, right? So you don't have to change anything. But if you want to go to the right side, you have to make sure that the demographic information data, which is the for mine is participant ID, right? That's the demographic data, or we call it case classification. That place have been indicated, right? So before you even use this one, you should also have demographics, right? And I have a video about how to bring demographics into NVivo. But so this one, you have demographics here. I choose roles. You can choose a second variable, but it might be complex. So we're going to hold on and click on Run Query. And then you can see here that for the theme, you see that for the first theme, it talks about transparency and accountability. Let's see, let's pull this one back here. Let's see what is going on. So innovators have nothing to do with this theme. There's zero, but policymakers there's one quotation. Regulators, there's also one quotation. Public also have one quotation, right? And you can see here that they are in total, we have 3 quotations here. And then the mean is 0.75 and the standard deviation is 0.50. So let's go here for stakeholders engagement. Stakeholder engagement, we have 2. So 2 statements are from innovators. They said that there should be stakeholders engagement, and then regulators will be is 1. So you can see that for that, it's regulators and stakeholders emphasize on this theme. When you go to balancing innovation and regulation, we have 2 statements from innovators, and there's nothing from policymakers, but there's 1 from regulators. So this is what I see. For the standard deviation, I don't see it as useful now. So this is the thing. If you think it's not useful, you shouldn't use it, right? But if you want to explore, if you want to know more about that, you are curious to know what all this means, as I said, we can use ChatGPT to explore. So this is a chart showing all the themes and also their relationship with the participant roles. And this one, the principal component analysis. You see here that regulators and policymakers are more linked to accountability and equity. So that's what I can see here. But as I said, we can explore this more with ChatGPT. And then this is the box plot. I don't see any extreme values around here. These are the new things that you can explore and use it for your presentation. The principle here is that if it doesn't make sense to you, don't present that. If the visual representation doesn't make sense to you, you should not present. Because what will happen is that you are going to confuse your readers. You should have understanding of this information before you present. And it's not required to, add visual representation when you are presenting your findings. So if you have difficulty understanding, you don't have to present. But if you want to know more, we can also use ChatGPT. So what you're going to do is that here, we can export this one. So I'm going to export. I think I've already export some. Let me go to, I've already export one that we can explore. Let me show you first. So if you want to export, you right click on it and export, right click on export. And also I've already exported the principal component analysis by plot. You right click on it and export, and then you can also export the box plot. So let me show you what I have. So this is the box plot that I've exported, right? And this is the principal component analysis by plot. This one looks a little bit different from what we have here, but we're gonna use this one. I think this one is better. And the last one is the cross-tabulation, the Excel spreadsheet. So we're gonna go to ChatGPT. If you want to learn more about this, let me go to ChatGPT. So this is ChatGPT. Now we have GPT 5.1. What I'm going to do is I'm going to attach the so first let me attach the cross tabulation one. And then I'm going to copy the purpose of my study and my research question just to help the system to get some background information. So I'm going to copy the purpose and then my research question. So let me copy that. Here's what my study is about. And then I can also say that, can you help me understand the attached spreadsheet downloaded from NVivo 15? And I click on enter. So let me see what the system will do. So you see how the system is explaining that information. It's explaining the column, what a row represents, and also how to interpret the numbers. So giving an interpretation. So these are the references. So it gives you about the regulators, their themes, and the references. So see how it's breaking things down for you to understand. That's what I like about, ChatGPT. If you are not clear about anything about the table or the visual representation, you can bring it to ChatGPT. The most important is to give the system some background information about your study so that you can get very good response from it. I will also add the second one. Let me add a second one and see. So I'm going to add maybe the principal component. I'll say, what about this? So let's see what we're going to get. Yeah, okay. So it's showing you that if what is in the box plot and giving you, okay. So it has also given you the interpretation, right? So the PCA box plot review clear patterns in how stakeholders group conceptualize responsible innovation. The public strongly associate responsible innovation with accessibility and equity, while the policymakers align responsible innovation more closely to transparency and accountability. Okay, so you see how the system has, provided some summary about the findings. That is good. We're gonna also add the last one, which is the box plot. What about this? Yes, so because of time, we cannot go through everything, but you see the system will interpret, break things down. You can also ask further questions if you are not all that clear. So that is very good about ChatGPT, gives you more information. That's what I have for you concerning cross-tabulation. So this is what I have for you. Let me know whether you want me to explore further. I'll be happy to go further and explore concerning what we are talking about. So we talk about the cross-tabulation, we talk about framework metrics. Thank you so much for your time. All the best.